ever
in here?
been on the show?
Yes, way back. Yeah.
Before me then.
No, I think you were there that night. I think both Jim and I and you were there in the studio. Yeah,
At
that
the
was
WATD studio or here?
yes. No, back at the WATD
Huh.
studio. So it was quite a while
I
ago. And
don't
it's so
remember
funny because
that.
he was a dispatcher for years. The man has
Yeah.
been on the radio his entire life, pretty much. But
Yeah.
yeah.
He can talk. He knows how to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Jim,
Yep.
if you're listening, and you better be because your wife, your beautiful wife, is here
Rolled
with me.
out of bed.
Rolled out of
literally.
bed. Me. I told Tracy we pulled up the first thing I said, you better, you're lucky that I'm here because something happened. And by a miracle of God, I was able to wake up on my own this morning.
Without their alarm clock.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm like a creature of habit and I checked my phone a million times to make sure that
Your alarm is set.
my alarm is set and I don't know what happened. I blame my cat.
Well, it's definitely.
It's
Yep.
definitely doing.
I think you should just keep the cat's food in the drawer next to your bed so that way you can just open it up and be like, here you go.
It's wet food.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was dry.
Oh, yeah. I was telling Tracy my cat wakes me up at 5 a.m. every single morning and she just causes total chaos until I get out of bed. Like total chaos will destroy my room until I get out of bed.
You never should have told her how to open the drawer.
No. I don't know
Should
how
not
she learned
have taught
that.
your cat how to open a drawer.
No, so she's begging. So, but yeah, somehow my alarm didn't, go off. But I woke up and it was 7:12, and I was like, looking at it, like, is that right?
And
And then I was like, wait, what is today? And when do I do the radio show?
Is it at 10 or is it at 8?
Yeah, it's at 8, so here I am.
She made it.
I made it, and you made it, and I'm
I
so
made
grateful
it.
for
Yeah,
that.
no, thank you so much for having me. I love coming in. I mean, it's early. Don't get me wrong. 8 o'clock is, but
Well,
it's,
I told
but then I'm up
Sharon
for the day.
Yeah, I had texted Sharon the other day, and I said Tracy's gonna do a show with me on Saturday, and she's like, I can do it. It's fine. I'm like, obviously you can do it. It's your show. But
your
like,
show.
yeah. But I'm like, no. Tracy likes to do the show. I'm like, it's a little early, but
Yeah, it's
whatever.
early. We
Someone's
make it work.
listening.
That's right.
People
Somebody's
are
out there listening.
Somebody's out there.
Yep.
If you're out there listening and you want to join in on whatever it is that we're going to be talking about today,
Which is always suspect.
781-837-4900 is the number to Tim. Tim's in the studio today.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hello, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is morning.
It is morning.
No question about that.
I feel your pain, Melissa. I've had that happen once when my alarm didn't go off.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I was not. It was bad. I woke up and I was like, boy, it's lighter out than it usually is.
Was there a time change?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't a time change at that point. No. And I looked at the clock. I was like, oh crap! I was throw myself together. I'm out the doors, and now I called and like I'm on my way. Sorry. Oh, but not again. No, I always make sure my clock's set on my phone, my alarm. So
Yeah, I don't know. So I haven't even been up for an hour. Oh, now it's an hour.
Hey, here we go. We
go.
just clicked into 12.
I took a shower and everything.
See, you had plenty of time.
Yeah, I got plenty of time.
You had plenty of time.
But yeah, so pretty much I say this every time, you're the only person I could ever have on this radio show and not have an agenda.
Yeah.
Not have a clue.
Not a clue what we're going to talk about.
Not a clue. And I love that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, actually, my daughter listened to our show. She's down in Nashville, as I said. So she listened to the show after the fact, as we thought, because I'm like, she's posting like she's awake, but I don't think she's awake.
Yeah.
So she did end up listening to the show, and she's like, I think it would be a great idea if people sent in what they want the show to be about, and you put them in a hat.
Yeah.
And then you just pull out of the hat a random topic that you are not prepared to talk about.
Yeah.
And just go with it. And I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
It is not a bad idea. Why didn't you tell me
this
this
before? Use
before?
some discretion, though.
Well, I mean, we're going to,
Something with real estate.
Well, I'm going to read the
Well, yeah.
topic and then go back to the hat if it's something we shouldn't really be talking about.
Yeah,
like,
maybe read the topic in your head before
before I
say
speak it out loud.
Yes,
And
yes.
just be like, oh, you know what? I can't read that handwriting. Move
Well,
it
and
on.
I can't. So that's okay because I have no eyesight.
I don't
right
know
now.
what that says.
Yeah, no.
All right,
We'll
well,
go to
Tracy,
another
that
one.
would have been a great thing to say before, right now.
Yeah, I
giving people an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yeah.
So we're pretty much just going to be laughing for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you and I have done so many shows together that no one ever asks what we're doing. Like everyone always says like, oh, who's on the show? What are you guys doing in the show? Like now it's like, oh, Tracy's on the show. moving on to the
Moving
next
on to the
topic
next-
because we just
not even gonna
we
bother
just
to
talk,
ask.
we just talk about whatever. But I know we have a list of things that we've talked about in the past,
Yep.
and as much as we always say that real estate is ever changing, it also stays the same in some ways.
Yeah.
So like the right way to do things
Is pretty organized, and it's pretty much a task list of what
pretty
should
much,
be getting done. And
So before we go into sort of this stuff, is there anything that you wanted to say?
Well, I have a very special day coming up on Tuesday.
What? Oh, yes. Please tell everybody about this, and I'm so jealous. I love it.
My son works in the capacity for the federal government.
Yeah.
And was able to get Jim and I tickets to go see the tour of the White House with the Christmas decorations. I am over the moon.
Yes.
I am beyond excited.
I
at this
know,
point.
me
It's been my
too.
dream to
I'm
do
so
this.
excited for you. When Jim came in, he was telling me about it too. He's like, I would rather see it without the decorations because like I'm more the history person. And if you're on Facebook and you see the look that she is giving me,
Out of his mind.
and I was
He doesn't
like,
know what he's
yeah,
talking
but
about.
how wonderful is it to see it with all the Christmas
Come
decorations? He's
on,
like, no,
this-
it's gonna be great, but like I'd also love to like tour it like the way
Fine,
that it is
well,
every day.
Okay, but I think scoring the tickets for a very short amount of time, like after Thanksgiving to the New Year,
Yeah.
and getting to see the Christmas decorations is huge. I mean, getting a chance to see it at another time would be
Yeah.
lovely just to see what it was. But come on, we do HGTV specials on having it decorated. I want to get on the committee
Yeah.
that decorates.
I think I was getting my nails done and I was on TV and there was Dr. Jill
Dr. Jill, yeah,
Dr. Jill
with
Biden
somebody,
up there
yeah.
saying like, oh, this is the theme and blah,
Yeah.
blah. And I was like, oh, it's all about
All
kids.
these women and men come in and they're like little elves right after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, and they put that together in like 3 days. I mean, come on, that's amazing. The
Yeah.
poinsettia tree alone, I can't wait.
I know.
I'm beyond myself.
I know. I'm so excited for you.
We're flying down same day, going down in the morning, coming back at night. So yeah, so excited. Can't wait. Gonna take
awesome.
tons of pictures.
Yeah, you
Thank
gotta
you, Colin.
Yes.
Thank you, Colin.
Yeah.
He's not even
Colin,
going to be there. He's in LA.
Yeah.
He's not even going to be home.
Well, you could have gotten me a ticket, Colin.
Yeah. Next
I
year,
could
we're
have
gonna
got
need
some
more
coverage for the Tuesday night show.
tickets. That's right. It just wouldn't have been me.
Next year.
Yeah, so that's my exciting news.
awesome.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, I'm
Can't
so
wait.
excited for you guys. Yeah, you got to take pictures and
take lots of pictures.
We can Photoshop me into the family.
Yeah, that's
photos.
right. We could do that.
Oh, Dee's on Facebook. I'd love to see the Christmas decorations at the White House. Yeah, me
See,
too.
come on. It's like it's on my bucket list. Like this is a big check on my bucket
Well,
list.
this is the type of thing, like, and not to get political or anything, like, it doesn't, it has nothing to, yes, your son works for the government,
yeah.
but, like, it has nothing to, like, he's in a position where, like, you have a job to do.
No
And
political
No
affiliation.
political affiliation. So, like, no matter who, and I think we said this, I had said this to you during the inauguration or anything, it's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, it does matter who's becoming president, but, like, it's the experience. Like, I would love to just even be there no matter
For an
who,
inau-
who
Yep.
it is. Like, he just lives such a great life.
He
I
does.
love
I
it.
know he does. He does have
And
such
you
a
always
great
keep
life.
me
Yeah.
up to date, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
I feel like I have the inside
so-
track with what's going on.
and I
in life.
always think to myself, you must be so proud of your kids. Like, but that's a
ridiculous.
testament
Yeah.
to you and Jim of how great of
you.
parents you are.
Thank you very much. But yeah, very proud of both. And both of our kids went off on completely different tracks.
Yeah.
One's in the music industry and the other one's working for the federal government. One had to take a lie detector test. The other one couldn't even walk in the room if the lie detector test was on. So
Yeah.
that's the difference between my kids.
Yeah.
And she admits it honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
she
yeah,
used to
well,
charge a cover to get into your house for
parties. So come on, the girl is an entrepreneur. She was an entrepreneur as a freshman in high school.
Oh God, that is so funny. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I love getting little updates about your kids.
Yeah, it's so
Which
much
is
fun. So that's my fun thing this week. So I had
yeah.
to fit the
So
whole word
real
around.
estate,
Okay.
but the White House, that's a house.
I know, I can't
People
wait.
live there.
People live there. I'm
Shocked.
gonna let you know what it's all about because I'm gonna post a ton of pictures. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like the most famous address in the world, I would say.
I actually put it in my calendar. At 1600 Pennsylvania Ave, Washington State. I'm going to be touring the White House, and it says address, and I'm like,
You
1600
should do a
Pennsylvania
CMA on
Ave.
it.
That would be fun.
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah, you could do a CMA, and then we'll do a show about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be talking about that one next time.
You will be talking about it.
I'll be
It might
talking
be
about that
next
for
Saturday.
a long time, so everybody better get over that
Yeah,
one.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought you had done it before, but then when you said it, I was like, oh no, I don't think she ended up doing it before. Okay, so yeah, great news.
Great news.
Great news.
Now that we've
Going to
covered
the
all
White
of the
House.
things in our personal lives that's going on. Yep. And
So
you have covered that you have closed on your house.
yes,
Have we
I
talked about
closed
that?
on my house. Yep,
Yep.
I am. I'm a Halifax resident.
There you go.
Yep, I still don't know when trash day is, but I'll figure that out.
If you just go on Facebook, if you just go on Halifax Connect,
Yeah.
half the messages on the Facebook post.
Does this affect
Trash
pickup? Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll ask Jess Page. She's a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and she lives in Halifax with her
she'll give
husband
you
and
the
3
scoop.
boys. She'll give me the scoop when trash pickup
Trash
is.
pick. See all the little things that you don't,
You don't realize.
Yeah, you don't realize.
But yes, I did. I closed on my house on November 20th, and ever since then, I've had it painted on the interior, all the walls, the kitchen cabinets. You had put in an offer for somebody, so you
Yep.
had seen the house.
I had seen the house.
I had the hardwood floors refinished. They look gorgeous, and now I have one room that has carpet, and that's being replaced on Tuesday, and then
she's good to
then
go.
I'm in. Then
And I
I'm-
love the fact that you did not go in and just paint everything. We were just having
No,
this
yeah.
conversation of what you want your house to look like, and a lot of people just go in and just blanket paint
Yeah.
everything white or
Yeah.
beige or something, and do the woodwork. Whereas you have natural wood, and you're kind of thinking about keeping it. As
Yeah,
opposed
I
to
kept
painting
it for I kept it for now because I didn't want to just go into my house and just make everything white or gray or anything like that. So I kept the natural wood. And I also have a wood paneled room. I'm making it like my 70s lounge because I want to keep the character, you know?
I've been rewatching the Fixer Upper shows because there's not a lot of new
Yeah.
out there. So we kind of went back to the old Chip and Joanna shows because half of them I can't remember anyway. But recently they've had paneling and they were just painting the paneling and it looked fantastic. I mean, it looked really good. So, and you already have it. So
Yeah. Oh, Dee saying you have to post pictures. I think meaning you, not my house.
yeah, I will. Yes.
Yeah, make sure that you post pictures. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I wanted to keep the character, and it's not that when you paint something white, it doesn't have character, but
No.
I didn't want to go in and make like a rash decision, so I scaled back like on the painting because they were gonna paint all the paneling. They were because there's paneling when you first walk
There's
into.
paneling. There's some paneling in this house.
There's some
Yep.
paneling in this house, but I'm keeping it for now because I didn't do what are we doing? The trim. I didn't paint the trim.
Right.
Because it's in really great condition and I love the color of the wood and I knew
And
I
I
was
think it's
refinishing the
important, yeah.
floors and I was like, you know what? I'll live
Put the
with
paint
it
up
for a while.
first. See what it looks like with the paint
Yeah.
before you just jump the
I'll
gun.
live
And
with
it's a
it
lot
for
of
a
work.
while.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of work to do trim the
Yeah.
right way. It
Yeah.
really takes such a
So maybe
labor of love.
eventually I'll do it, but for now I want to, keep it looking like it does and live in the space for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I'm not moving in right away, so it's the perfect opportunity to have it painted, to have the floors redone. Because if I don't do it now, I'll never do it.
I say that to our buyers all the time.
Yeah.
When they buy their house, I'm like, before anything, and Jim's a big one about this too, do your floors. Do your
Yeah.
paint, do your floors before you move in so you
Oh
don't
my
have
gosh.
to move all that furniture.
I'm so. Did I
Out
show you
and in.
pictures of the floors?
No.
Oh, I'm so happy that I did the floors. They
Yeah.
look so good. And I did like a satin finish too because he was like, "Do you want a high gloss or satin?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've never been asked these questions before."
Yeah.
Of course, I texted Mark and I was like, "Hi, Mark McNamara, McNamara Plumbing." I was like, "Should I do a high gloss or satin?" And he suggested the satin.
Satin, yeah.
And I'm so happy that I did because I didn't. It doesn't look like a bowling alley in there.
I feel like the high gloss, it's going to be one of those things that's going to be an up and down type thing.
Yeah.
Like high gloss was super popular 20 years ago, and now everybody's kind of going back to that natural. We just said mid-century modern type of a vibe.
And that's
seems
the
to
vibe
be,
I'm going for. So.
Yeah. So that seems to be pretty popular right now. A lot of our buyers are doing mid-century modern. It's that 1970s. It's the Brady Bunch house.
Yeah.
Come on, Tim. Where's my music? It's like the Brady Bunch house.
It's
We
the
talked
Brady
about
Bunch house.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Wait, you said you didn't want your music?
Yeah, I would like my music, Tim.
Okay, all right.
We'd
here,
like our
here.
music too.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. If you're
It's the Grady Bunch
it's
every
the Grady
Saturday
Bunch
morning, 8 to
every
9
Saturday
a.m. right
morning.
here on Talk Real Estate.
It's so true.
It's the Grady
It's
Bunch.
the Grady Bunch.
Yeah,
I
if
love
you're
that.
following us on Facebook, we're live on Boston Connect Real Estate and all the Connect pages and stuff. We were just dancing.
Yeah,
so
we were
sorry,
dancing.
sorry for our little
a little venture off.
dance move. Again, you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. We're just talking about real estate.
Talking
really.
a little about real estate and
Talking-
weaving it into our lives.
Yeah,
How does
weaving-
it?
yeah,
weave
how,
it- we
how
weave
does
that into
real
our life.
estate weave into your life? And when
Yep.
you live and breathe this industry, it's pretty much always in there. But
Yeah.
if you want to join in on the discussion, 781-837-4900 is the number to Tim at WATD. Yeah,
See, what else do we have going on? I have a lot of land deals going on right now.
You do have a lot of land.
And we don't talk a lot about land.
You know what?
'Cause
let's talk about land.
Let's
right
talk
now.
about land right now. That's
What's
what I
going
was
on with
thinking.
land?
So we have a couple of land deals going on. People that want to obviously purchase a piece of land and then build a house upon it.
Why?
Well, it's
As
just,
opposed to purchasing a home that maybe is new construction, so they don't have to deal with the build, or a resale. Why are they going with land?
depends on the type of house you want to build. A lot of times builders build custom houses or spec houses. So if you're not in the market for a colonial, it's really tough to try to find a ranch or a cape, because
Amen.
builders don't tend to build those type of houses. And there's a lot of reasons why builders don't do that, because it does cost way more money to build a ranch, believe it or not, than it is to build
Yeah.
a colonial, because your ranch house is longer. And if
Yeah,
you're going to
you
have
have
a
more
full basement,
foundation, yeah.
there's just way more concrete, way more foundation. And people think that, well, a colonial is a huge house. Well, a ranch can be 3,000 or 4,000 square feet. Plus, it's going to take up an extra amount of land
Yeah.
to the left, to the right. And every town has its own guidelines that you have to go by for a piece of land and putting a house on it. So I use Pembroke because I worked for the Pembroke Building Department, and it's embedded in my brain that you need to have at least 40,000 square feet of property. You have to be able to meet the setbacks on both sides. The rear, those 40 feet from the street, 20 feet from the side, 25 from the rear. Then your septic has to be installed, 10 feet from the septic tank, 20 from the leaching field. So, and then, just to throw another curveball in, and every town is a little different, Pembroke has a circle of 150 feet that has to fit in the upland part of the lot, and the house has to fit within the circle. So it's not just a matter of like, oh, that's a beautiful piece of land, I'm going to slap a house up.
throw
in
a
that.
house
I'm
right
going to
there.
throw a house up on that. So easy. Actually, we are in the middle of one deal that we had another piece of land under agreement, and we had a engineer go out and do the statistics, and it just wasn't going to work with the size house. It was a ranch. The setbacks weren't going to work from the side. So not only if the house is going to be big, the setbacks become smaller. So it's like they're really keeping you into
Yeah.
a size that works on the lot. So we had to give that lot up and ended up going with a different lot in Hanson. It's going to be beautiful. It is set back a little bit. It's got a long driveway back, but it's a really beautiful lot. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
And that
she's
is
excited.
Kristen Howlett's land.
Kristen Howlett's land,
Yes.
another full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate.
Yeah, she
Yep,
just did
which
the
was
show with me
awesome.
on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's awesome. Yeah. So you
Super
guys have
fun.
that under agreement.
Yep.
And then what other, do you have another land deal going on?
We have another one in Duxbury. This one's a little bit easier. The our clients are actually living on the North Shore, but they'd like to come down to the South Shore to be closer to their parents.
Yeah.
So, and they have a healthy budget, we'll say. So we ended up looking at some pieces of land in Duxbury, and there was a whole bunch of them to pick from. So,
Oh, wow.
So you kind of had to go in and say, okay, what's this going to look like down the line? Do we have any wetlands behind us? Do we have any conservation land behind us? Are there any turtles on the land? That type
Yeah.
of thing. They'd like a swimming pool in their yard. So you kind of have to go back and look at the lots and get another engineer. So the engineers that are out there, my favorite people, they come in, they look at the lot, they apply the rules that the town has put in place. So, like, I'm not qualified I kind of understand it,
Yeah.
but I am not by any means qualified
So at what
to determine a
point do you
buildable
say,
lot.
like, at one point do you say, like, okay, here's some land for sale. Now we have to go
Yeah.
figure out if it works.
So I always say, if you're a seller of land, I always recommend to hire an engineer to do the preliminaries of the lot. So it can
Okay.
kind of give you the basics, like, do we even have enough land
Yeah,
to
because you need to
start
know how
with?
to market it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So you need to know, do I have enough land? Does it look like, depending on what kind of house I'm going to build, am I going to meet the setbacks? If somebody would like to have a pool in or a 2-car garage, is that going to affect? Can I add a 2-car garage 10 years from now, 5 years from now, because I don't have the money to do it now? You don't want to pigeonhole somebody into a lot that then in the future they can't expand upon it if they are planning to expand upon it. So there's a lot of questions. It's not as easy, like you just said. I'm going to go buy a piece of land and slap up a house.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. There is really. So sometimes a subdivision is better because the builder is required to do all that work ahead of time. So if you're buying in a pre-existing or at a subdivision that's under construction, the builder kind of has already done that for you. So sometimes it is a whole lot easier to go into a subdivision and just say, pick a lot. And then it's ready to go pretty much. But if you're going to buy a piece of land that's not in a subdivision and you're just doing a one-off, as I call it, then you really do have to hire an engineer. To make sure that the land can be developable. And just because it's been taxed as a buildable lot, rules and regulations change over the years. So it's really important to get your updated bylaws and make sure that you're looking at the accurate information. It's not as easy as it sounds.
And you got to know when the lot ends. Because listen to this. I have 2.7 acres.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And a lot of it's woods. And I'm like... my boyfriend and I,
she just can't say that enough, can she?
I have not said it at all on the radio show, actually. First time. So my boyfriend and I, he came to closing day. You ended up meeting my boyfriend that day. But he was like, hey, let's walk the lot. And I was like, okay. I had not done that before. I hadn't done it, so I was like, "Oh yeah, you're smart."
You actually asked me. You were like, "When you came and looked at this house with your clients, did you walk the lot?" I'm like, "Yeah, I walked the lot."
Yeah, no,
I walked the lot.
So I'm walking, and I'm just like, "Oh!" But then I got to the point where I was like, "Is this my land or is this somebody else's land?" I was like, So I had asked Mary and Sharon, and they were like, "Oh,
let's get the plot plan out."
Yeah. Well, I heard a rumor that somebody potentially wants to purchase some of my land.
Oh.
And it's not developable back there.
No.
So, but I think for privacy reasons they would want it. But I was like, I'm gonna have to get like
an engineer.
An engineer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ring up an engineer because I don't know where my land ends.
And here's another little ditty about land. You cannot give up land if it makes your lot non-conforming. So if your lot right now yours is different because it's 2.7 acres. But if you have a 40,000 square foot lot and there's somebody would like to build next or grab some of your land, you can't sell them a piece of your land and make your lot non-conforming.
Yeah.
It has to stay. So if you have 2.7 acres, you probably can shave off, half an acre, 3/4 of an acre, and it's not even going to make a blip on the radar screen to you.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure that you do not offer people land and then make your lot non-conforming in order. Or in the case of mine that didn't go through, we needed a little bit of the land from the next door neighbor that wasn't willing to give it up. It wasn't going to make the lot non-conforming, but they were using the land. So we couldn't, it was a deal breaker actually, which was too bad because it was a lovely lot.
Oh, that's too bad.
So, but
yeah, moving on.
Just can't build a ranch. You can build a colonial there, probably no problem. Ranches are longer, colonials go up. So that's why.
So that's your two lands that you're
That's
dealing
my
with
two
right
lands.
now?
Yeah, the Duxbury one's super easy. Yeah, because it's a subdivision. So the lots are pretty much already mapped out.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of houses there. There's only a couple. So it's really hard. And that's another thing. It's really tough to vision. And even our buyer for the Duxbury, he's even said to me, he's like, I can't see it. I don't see it. It's like, I'm a numbers guy. I need to see everything in front of me. And he's like, the vision thing, it's just not there. So it's hard to show somebody what the house is going to look like on the lot.
Yeah.
When you get rid of the trees and I mean, it's a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking at rough cut land, and then all of a sudden the trees are gone, and you're like, whoa, what just happened?
I know. That's what is crazy about new construction, because it's like all of a sudden it's like, there it is.
Boom. There it is.
And you're like, what? This wasn't here before.
When did that happen?
When did that happen?
When did that happen? Yeah.
But you also do a lot of new construction, and you have new construction going on now too.
We do. We have two projects in way. We have one in Hanson on Roller Coaster Road, 120 Roller Coaster Road. I was just over there the other day. God, it's a beautiful house, a beautiful colonial. 2 cars under 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths on a very quiet street. And actually, Oldham Pond is further down, but is
Yeah.
at the end of the street. So, I mean, it's really quiet there, but it's nice because it's right off of Route 14. So it's super easy access to the highway or any major shopping. So it's almost like the best of both worlds because you're kind of in the country because you don't see any major traffic, but you're minutes away from shopping, restaurants. It's a beautiful home. If anybody'd like to see it, Jim's going to be there Sunday from 1 to 2:30.
Oh.
He's doing the open houses on Sunday.
Oh.
You're
busy.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm working.
You're busy.
I'm working my other side gig.
Working the
Side hustle. My side hustle.
And tonight too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we're together.
We'll be together if you want to
Come visit
back.
us.
Come visit us at Christina's.
New menu.
New
Got a
menu.
new menu.
New menu. Great short rib.
Oh, did you have it?
I had a little bite.
No, you didn't get it to go. We got it to go the other night.
Oh
my
yeah,
God,
no.
it was
Amanda
crazy
was
good.
kind enough to put a little plate together, and Carrie and I shared it. But
It was- yeah.
so good.
Yeah, some of the new stuff is really good. The short rib is just, it was crazy good. I was gonna get something else, and then I had a bite of somebody's. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Sharon and Mark actually came in last
yeah.
night. What did they get?
Mark had the short rib.
Oh,
Yeah, he liked it.
oh, good.
I think he liked it. Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
And then Sharon had the haddock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember what everybody eats.
Yeah.
it's like a bad habit of mine.
I remember what people eat and drink before I remember what their names are. So
Oh yeah, me
sorry.
too. Yeah. Oh, you're Tito's Cosmo. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have people who come in. I'm like, oh yeah, Tanqueray tonics are here.
Yeah.
I don't know what their names are.
I don't know what your name is, but I know what you're drinking.
Tanqueray and tonics are here. And sometimes I say, my friends are here. And people are like, what? I'm like, oh no, like,
I just know what you
feel
eat.
like they're
I
my
feel like if
friends.
I know what you eat and drink, you're kind of
I
my
feel like
friend.
if I've told you anything about my real estate journey, you're my friend.
Because if you're willing to listen to me talk
You're
about real
willing
estate,
to listen. Yeah, you're my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you've always been new construction. You're
I think
you're
it's-
the new construction person.
Yep, new
The
construction
construction
condos
team.
and condos. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the king and queen of condos for a while there in the town of Pembroke.
You're like quietly saying it, like, please don't bring it up again.
No.
Yeah, in the town of Pembroke. Hey, weren't you like the number one at some point? You were like
think
the
we were, like,
number
number one
one
condo.
condo.
Yeah,
king
we
and
had a
queen.
lot. We had a lot of new construction, and then we got a lot of condo clients. It was probably because of our age group, I think. I don't know.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Young
people
and
move-
fun?
Young and fun. No, this is a big year for me. This is the big one.
Oh,
Yeah, this is this is one of those decade ones. Yeah, 60.
yay! You're 60.
dun. Not
You're
yet.
gonna be 60.
Not yet.
You're gonna be 60. Yay!
I am. Big year. Very big year.
Well,
But I'm going to the
what are
White
you gonna
House.
do? You're going to the White House.
Going to the White House. I can't even ask for a better birthday present. That is like my ultimate birthday present right there. Check it off.
Yeah,
Done.
that's awesome.
Good job, Colin.
Yeah, great job.
Good
Colin.
job, Colin and Tabitha. Probably.
Yeah.
Tab's probably be there too.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be fun. You gotta
Yeah.
put some pictures. Everybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you and Jim have always been like the new
construction.
construction
Yep.
go-to.
We love it. Jim is always a frustrated architect anyway, so he has that mental capacity to look at things, and he can read a ruler, which I cannot. But it's super
that's good.
important. It's really important that one of us is able to read a ruler because I'm the inch to the half inch and then 2 inches, and there's nothing in between.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, there is.
Jim will be building everything at my house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As soon as I get something for him to build, because I have not purchased anything.
I haven't bought anything yet, but when it's ready to go, Jim will be there. That's for sure.
Yeah, Jim
Yeah.
will be there.
So yeah, but
building
we
it.
do a lot of new construction. We have another new construction. It's in Marshfield on Ferry Street, 719 Ferry Street, which is a bigger version of the house than that's in Hanson. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Beautiful lot. I mean, the lot itself is it sits on top of a hill, but the builder did an amazing job with the landscaping, and the rock walls are just stunning.
Yeah.
And the backyard is just big enough that if you wanted a pool, you could fit a pool, but it's just enough backyard that you don't need,
Yeah.
to maintain a lot of land. So beautiful house. Jim will be there Sunday from 11 to 12:30. And then you're rolling right over to Roller Coaster Road.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a busy day. But yeah, so we do a lot of new construction, which is fun. Our builder tends to do custom, which is nice so that, you could put your own fingerprint on it. It's not just a house that's been,
And that's the same builder for both.
Yes, K&G Development, Bob Goslin, our favorite guy. I'm giving Bob his plug.
Yeah. No,
Love Bob.
Yeah.
Just an amazing builder. From beginning to end, Jim goes to a lot of the closings. He's like, it's like a kumbaya moment when they're like, people are bringing each other gifts to the closing because Bob deals directly with the buyer, so there's no middle person in the middle. So by the time they're done, they are best of friends, and usually somebody's making a cake or bringing them a gift or something. So yeah, it's a great experience. He's been wonderful to deal with. So
That's great.
we
That's
love
great.
Bob.
Yeah, we love Bob.
We love Bob.
We love Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, so sorry, Jim, you gotta work all day tomorrow.
Sorry, I'm working.
But so does Tracy.
Yeah, we'll be off in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, we'll give you another opportunity to plug those open.
Yeah,
plug
but those are
open
new
houses.
construction projects, so
Yeah.
that's a lot
Yeah,
that
so
goes
land
into
and
that.
new construction, you have a lot going on. Do you have any resales going on right now?
No, we don't actually. No, which is really it's strange for us.
Are you working with any buyers?
I am working with a couple of buyers, yeah. But I think this time of the year is tough. I really feel like the holidays really just kind of people are like, nah, putting the brakes on, probably going to wait till after
I'm
January.
so glad that I got a house before
Yes.
Thanksgiving and before Christmas because as much as
rolling into the spring market. Ugh. Ugh.
because now all we're hearing is like, I'm gonna wait till spring, and we're just like, why?
But why? Because if you put your house in the market now and buyers are looking, you've got a real buyer because buyers don't go out looking this time of the year unless they're really, really ready to buy. They're not tire kickers. They're serious buyers.
They're ready.
They're ready to go.
Yeah, they're out there. They're ready. Like I said, I'm so fortunate that I was able to close on my house on November 20th, right before Thanksgiving, because I was getting tired.
Oh, well,
I was getting tired.
Yep,
I was getting tired. I was gonna continue on, obviously, because that's the goal, and I'm not gonna give up on the goal. But I was like, oh, come on,
Come on, I really don't want to go into the holiday season doing this.
something. So, and then I got my house.
Now you got your house, so
Now I
that's
got my
awesome.
house.
Yeah. We had an interesting closing this week. We closed on that house, the resale in
Oh,
Hanson,
yeah.
which was great.
Yeah.
Everything went fine.
Can you talk about it a little
I
bit?
think we can talk about that a little bit. So
Yeah.
just not to be surprised, things do happen when you're closing on a
Yeah.
house. It doesn't always go exactly as planned. So and this one was a minor issue. I mean, we've had others. We had one
We've
closing.
had major issues.
I won't go. We'll do that one after this one. This one was pretty simple, but everybody signed on Monday. We closed on Monday. It was an afternoon closing, so it didn't go on record. So it was going to go on record on Tuesday, which was fine because the woman wasn't moving in, so no issues there. My sellers had already in their car on their way to Georgia, so everybody was okay until Tuesday morning when they tried to file the paperwork and there was a date discrepancy. So when they got to the registry to file the paperwork, it kicked back saying, this is the wrong date on one of the pieces of document. And I'm like, well, okay, how are we going to fix that? So the buyer works in Nantucket and is on Nantucket for now. So we're like, she would have had to come back on a ferry to re-sign all of her paperwork and then go back to Nantucket. So instead, they found a lawyer on Nantucket, an attorney that was willing to sit and do the paperwork with her and then send it so she didn't have to come back.
Wow.
And then, so we didn't end up on record until Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't always go exactly
And I
as
feel
you
like
planned.
at
You just
first
stay
you were
on top
like,
of it.
oh, they'll sign it, and then it's like 48 hours from there, and I'm like, oh, good grief.
Oh, no, I was guessing at the 48 hours. I was
Oh,
like,
okay,
here,
good.
I was kind of like, no, here we are at 48 hours and we're still not on record. I couldn't
yeah.
quite figure out what was going
What's
on.
happening?
But see, that's not a record for me. We have the year closing.
Yes,
That
that took a year.
year to close during COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell everybody about
Oh my
that
God,
one.
that was so funny. It was a house down in Sandwich, beautiful house, and it was relatively an easy deal. I think it was a cash sale even, but the trust for the seller had expired, and we had to go back into land court, and this was during COVID. So I called the attorney and I said, so, how long is this going to take? He's like, yeah, I don't know how long this is going to take.
Yeah.
It could be a while. I'm like, a while like days, a while
couple
like
days?
months. So, and because the registry was the registry was closed because of COVID. So there was just a pile of all of these, and it was just kind of the luck of the draw when your case
Yeah.
came up and they would fix so. And I had 3 very intelligent attorneys working on all of this, 3 very smart gentlemen, and they were all like, I've never seen anything like this. I don't
Yeah.
understand. So almost a year to the day, we finally got the word from land court that that trust had been put back into place and that we could close on the property.
That is so wild.
It was crazy.
Is that the
year.
one? Is that the one that had was that they stole the pipes?
No, that was another one. No, that was an easy closing, but we had it under agreement. We had already signed purchase and sale agreement. Somebody had broken into the house and severed the copper off of the pipes.
Yeah.
And the house just flooded. They never shut the water off. I mean, it would have been it would have been horrible that they took the copper to begin with, but the fact that they weren't smart enough to shut the water off,
Yeah.
as soon as they cut the copper pipe, all the water started to come into the house. So a friend, they lived out of state at the time, the sellers, and they had a friend that kept stopping by the house, and she went into the basement, and there was literally 4 feet of water
Yeah.
in the basement. I'm
Could
like,
you imagine walking into the house and be like,
there's a lot of water. It's a lot of water in your basement.
hi, I swear I've been checking on the house, but now there's water.
There's a lot of water. So, yep. So that was, but the buyer was a great, buyer was flipping the house anyway. So they were willing to, and they filed an insurance claim. So there was a little back and forth with that, but we all came to an agreement that, so the people still bought it, still flipped it, did a beautiful job doing the flip. Yeah, it looks really nice. Right around the corner from my sister's house. So
Did they did they flip to sell or
flip to sell.
Yeah.
Flip to sell. So it was a good, it actually worked out. But had it been any other buyer that wasn't going to do that, I think that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure your houses are locked up nice, tight as a drum.
Bundle
If you're
bundle
not
those
going to
houses
be
out.
there, you've already moved out and somebody has not moved in, make sure
Yeah.
your house is locked up nice and tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I think it would have mattered. They probably broke in through the basement window. So I think it was,
And stole the pipes while as
Stole
the
the
water was
copper pipes. I thought that
pouring
was-
into the basement.
pouring. Like, just shut the water off. If you're gonna steal pipe,
Well,
you
they
should
didn't
know
know they didn't know how to probably.
Yeah.
They didn't know to shut the water off before you steal the pipes.
before you steal the pipes. I mean, you could drown. They could drown in the basement if
while
they
you were
got stuck
trying to get
down
the
there.
pipes. Oh my gosh.
Yep. So
Yeah, that's awful.
yeah. So we've had some adventures over the. We've had some we've get some.
I know, we gotta
crazy
write a
closings.
book.
Yeah.
We say it all the time, but we gotta write a book. Yeah, there's some agents where we're like, you have so many stories.
You got so many they're just not.
But they
cut
know how
and
to.
dry.
But like you and Jim know how to deal with those situations, even though you've never been in them before. You're just
Yep.
kind of like,
All right,
all right,
we're working.
well, we gotta work this.
Work the problem. That's our when we get
Yeah.
into these situations, we're like, all right, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna work the problem. We're gonna go back to whoever you're gonna go back to try to figure out who am I gonna talk to and how are we gonna get this fixed?
Yeah.
As fast as possible. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
what we
hopefully
tend
it
to
doesn't
do.
take a year for land court during COVID.
Year. Oh my goodness. I had never thought that was gonna happen. A year. That's just crazy.
Yeah, but it closed, and that's what matters.
Closed. And it was kind of like a nice little surprise, like, oh look, we have a check.
Oh look! Oh,
look.
we had a closing.
We had a closing.
Where
Where did this come from? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's the one from a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I have some questions here that I'm supposed to ask you. How's your team doing? What?
Jim and I are. It's good. It's definitely a different year. I mean, I think
Yeah.
all of us looking back over the past, let's say, 3 years, COVID, what happened? I mean, who would have thought during COVID that real estate would just go booming? Like I just thought it was going to die on the branch, and it was the polar opposite.
Yeah.
It was like the most.
well, rates were so low.
Rates were low, and that was a huge. I mean, again, when we talk about my Vegas theory, 2 to 3. When you're getting 2 to 3%, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
and good for you that you made the most of it, and you got a rate. Again, I still have buyers that probably should be almost ready to be upgrading, and they're like, I don't think I want to upgrade. I'm hanging on to my 2.7% loan that I
Yeah.
have. So I do appreciate that, but definitely slower this year. It's definitely been not as. But again, it was like shooting fish in a barrel for 2 years. It was like everybody was buying, everybody was selling, people were getting out of their houses. I don't know whether they thought like I'm going to go into a nice new house and I'm not going to have COVID, and it was just the craziest market.
Yeah,
And
it really was.
And this is probably more of a normal market that we're in right now, but we're also spoiled from being in that crazy period of time.
Yeah. I remember when I first started here with Mary and Sharon, before I worked for the actual office, I just worked on their team, and this was 7 years ago. And I remember I had to be the one to call all of their sellers and beg them to do open houses. Can we please do an open house at your house this week? And there were 6 of them, and I had to beg them all.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Melissa Wallace, Boston Connect Real Estate. I work with Sharon McNamara, and at the time it was Mary Baker. So I was like, I was just wondering if we could do an open house there. And now it's like, okay, we're doing an open house now. We're doing it this.
Yep.
We're doing
We're doing open house on Saturday. We're Sunday. We're done. Yeah.
And then all offers are due on Monday. But even then, I'm just like, please let us sell your house. I'm begging people to let us sell their houses that we already had on the market. Please.
Like, we need to get back in here and do an open house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, crazy right from the get-go. But
Right
yeah,
from the
next year should be, I think next year will be a better year.
Yeah. What are your
Interest rates are coming
predictions
down.
for?
I think the interest rates are coming down a little
Yeah.
bit, and I think people are gonna. I mean, there's always, and I always say this to sellers: if your house is sitting on the market, and then we kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's like, do I need to get a new real estate agent? Why isn't my house selling?
Yeah.
Which is always tough. But new buyers come on the market every single day.
Yeah.
So just because your house didn't sell, let's say in the month of November, doesn't mean your buyer is not going to start looking in the next week or so. So sometimes you do have to have a little patience.
Yeah.
It depends on the state of your. It's so many things that depend on what the condition of the house is.
Yeah.
Location is always a big one. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, I mean, people are buying houses every day, and I just think about like I know Kristen Howlett, obviously full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, Sue Bollinger, full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. They've all come on the show with me, but they all and you had clients in my price range, and we were all going for same houses, and time and time again. And they all put in offers on my house, and I went first. I got an accepted offer. Then Kristen's client got an accepted offer right afterwards. Then Sue's client got an accepted offer right after. So there's 3 buyers in that
have been looking for a while.
That have been looking for a while in that pool that are now out. So there's 3 more coming right in.
Yeah, there's 3 more right behind them. That's right. There's 3 more coming right in.
There's 3 more coming right behind.
And in that price point, that's just not a lot that comes on the market. It's worth buying in that price point.
Yeah.
So it's,
And we've said, and I wanted to stay under 400, and we've said it time and time again. It's like there's 2 different dynamics that are looking at that price range. It's the right sizers, so people going from the larger homes, and now they don't need a large home, and they want a small ranch, or they want,
they don't want to be in a condo, but they still want to have their own house, their own piece of property.
And then there's first-time home buyers.
Yeah. And it's just and
that's why you're up against 24 offers.
That's why Yep. And then it's just, you just never know what house is gonna, you're gonna have that multiple offer on. But that price range, I really feel like, again, you got a lot of people buying.
I had a little bit of a tough time because every time I got a rejected offer, I would ask, follow-up questions. And, there were a couple times where the listing agent told me, like, it's a parent buying it for their kid because they haven't been able to get anything.
I've had a few of those.
And I'm just like,
yep, parents have the cash.
I'm like, I'm going to call the Gradys and see if they can buy me a house. I this whole time I've been saying to Matt Mahoney, I'm like, did you buy me a house yet?
Can you just buy me a house? Can I just...
He has like a couple investment properties, so I'm like, are you going to buy me one now?
Yeah, can you buy me one I can live in?
Are you going to buy me one now? But... yeah, so like I said, there's 3 of us out, and there's gonna be 3
new
or 4 coming right in,
right up the backside. So exactly.
They're out there. Hello, they're out there. I promise you, I was up against them for a while, and when you're getting 24 plus offers on a property.
Oh, there
are plenty of buyers.
Yeah, plenty of buyers.
So that's not an issue.
And then the parents, parents have 401ks that they can take the money and buy the house, and then the kids can go back, refinance, take the time that they need to refinance, and then pay mom and dad back. So up against a cash offer is a really tough place to be when you're, getting a mortgage.
I beat a cash offer.
Yeah. I wish I was a cash offer.
I beat a cash offer. Ha That's me being petty.
That was a little like, I beat a cash offer.
Yeah, because it as much as cash, everyone says cash is king, it's also about the other parts of your offer.
Yes.
Like there's so many elements to an offer that could make it great. And mine was better.
Yep. No contingency is always a great one.
No contingency is always a great one.
You don't have anything to sell? Yes.
Yeah. And if you're financially stable, like what's the difference? Like, okay, a bank's saying that, I'll give you the $400,000 cash. Sure,
right.
you qualify.
Yeah. You qualify.
There you go. You're backed by the government.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Here's $400,000.
So much better than that. Yeah. Nothing. No. Well, there is sometimes, but
Yeah, people view it as less of a risk, doing the cash and all that stuff. But
Dates could be wrong on
when you
paperwork.
have, dates
It could be wrong on paperwork as opposed to there's no date wrong on cash.
Yeah, yes, that is true. But like I said, there's other elements to the offer. Maybe you waived your home inspection, maybe you waived something else, or you're giving them time, or not a lot of time,
Yeah,
or
if they want to
whatever.
get out quickly, or sometimes they don't want to close until they want to stay there for an extra 3 months. And
Yeah.
you have that ability to be flexible on a closing date, or you can move it up or you can mush it out, which is always a very attractive on an offer, depending on your sellers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, that's that. That's my story.
That's your story.
That's my story.
It's a good story, though.
We only have about 7 minutes left, so what should we talk about in our topic today?
Let's see. What are we going to move on to? Well,
What are we moving on to?
well, we always end up rushing through all the open houses. So
Oh yeah, do you want to go over your open houses?
let's do the.
Oh, we do have some open houses.
We do
for
have
the
some
whole
open
thing.
houses, and we always get to the end, and then we're like, oh,
Yeah,
dang,
that
we
is
only have a
true.
minute left because we
That is
digress
true.
onto some crazy
I will
subject.
go over some open houses. So Faith Birmingham, full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, she has a listing in Hanson, 871 Main Street. She is going to be there today from 11 to 12 and tomorrow 12 to 1. That is on the market for $585. Have you seen the pictures of that?
Yes, it's really
So cute.
Really cute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, 871 Main Street, Hanson. Today, 11 to 12. Tomorrow, 12 to 1. Sharon and Mary have 2 new construction developments. One is Cushing Trails in Hanson. That is they're doing open houses there every Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 12. Those are townhome style homes. I think there's 40 of them. Those range between 570 and 630. And then every Saturday and Sunday, they also have a new construction development in West Bridgewater. Cochise Estates, you can use 3 Narragansett Drive as your GPS location. That is from Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 3. So those range from $649 to $899. So there's duplexes over there, and there's single family homes. So lots of things to.
Beautiful scenery too.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
beautiful over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, you feel like you're in the middle of, I don't know, like New Hampshire, because it's really
Like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
there's like
it's-
deer back there, and
It's
they're
a really nice
gallivanting
location.
through the
Yeah.
woods. The Grady team has a open house tomorrow, 719 Ferry Street in Marshfield, 11 to 12:30.
Yes.
That is on for 1.2999.
900.
00. Jim Grady will be there again, 11 to 12:30 tomorrow, 719 Ferry Street in Marshfield, and he will also be
Rolling
at
into
120 Roller Coaster Road. Whee! 120 Roller Coaster Road in Hanson. That is from 1 to 2:30. That is on for $749.9. And then obviously, I already said Sharon and Mary's.
Sharon and Mary's.
So Cushing Trails and Cochise Estates.
Donna and Nadine on there?
Oh yeah, Donna and Nadine. Oh yeah, because I skipped over them. Donna and Nadine, they have a price change over on their home in Franklin, 71 Conlin Ave, Franklin. They will be there tomorrow, 11 to 12:30. That is on for $569. So you can always go to bostonconnect.com, find all of the information for our open houses. You can find all the contact information for all of our, agents. How can people get in touch with you if they need anything with real estate?
If you need anything with real estate, you can reach me, Tracy Grady, at 617-620-8484, or you can email me at Tracy, Tracy, at bostonconnect.com, or Jim at 617-842-4019, or Jim at bostonconnect.com.
Also, we have
Tracy, I have a question. Did
Yeah.
you and Sharon work out your last 4 numbers on your phones to be
Isn't that
opposite?
so weird?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
for
just like, wait,
yes.
she's
I do.
48,
I promote all the agents here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and it's so hard for me to. And I know people don't know people's phone numbers anymore because
Right.
you don't have to dial them, but
just store
I
them on
type
the
them
phone,
all the
push the
time.
button.
I type people's phone numbers all the time, and I'm
Yep.
like, wait a minute, what? Every time I see you guys,
Yeah, it's-
8484.
I noticed that like one of the first times I called, I'm like, our cell phone numbers are just reversed on the backs, and that is really
It's a sign
odd.
of some sort.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
I do want to mention, so we do both work at Christina's in Pembroke, and we have a bunch of like holiday lights up.
Oh,
back
my
there,
goodness.
And all these like blow up things. It looks so cool. It's like a little winter wonderland.
It's
back
amazing
There.
out
So
back there.
if you want to come through, you can take pictures. I think maybe Santa might be there at some point
I
in the
think
next
there's
couple
going to be a
weeks.
Monday Santa afternoon from like 4 to
Yeah.
6.
Once
so
we have that, once
Yeah.
we have that information, we'll give you all. But come through, like,
Oh, the
and
lights
see all
are-
the lights
I mean,
and all the blow ups. It's so cool.
it is
Every year,
so cute.
yeah, every year, it gets bigger and better, and we love it. So when I drove in last night, I was like, oh, they're up. I was like, wait a minute, it's December.
That's right. It's December. But
It's
it is, and we
December.
get so many, and I think
Yeah.
it was Jimmy saying the other night, the kids, the parents let them out of their seatbelt so they can get a little closer to
Yeah.
the window, and you can see their faces pressed up against the window, and they're looking at and there's a lot of blow-ups out there. I'm telling you, it's probably a dozen anyway, and flashing lights in the parking lot. It is just Christmas on steroids
It's
in the
Christmas
back
on steroids,
parking lot.
yeah.
So it's in the back parking lot at Christina's, which
Yeah.
it's just so adorable.
It is
Yeah.
so adorable, and I'm 32 and I appreciate it. So
I know. You can't pull into the parking lot and not smile. When you come in the parking lot, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot we do this every year.
I know. I was like, oh, it's December. It's they put
December.
the lights up. So
Yeah.
come on through, and then come in and try our new menu.
Yeah, try our new menu. Try our peppermint cocoa martini.
Yeah,
Espresso.
Tracy will make it for you.
I will make it for you. I made a bunch of them
you
last
can have
night.
a drink at the bar and then come into the dining room.
There you go. That's a perfect evening.
Perfect evening. Go see the lights, have a drink with Tracy, and come have dinner with me.
Yep, exactly. Perfect. I can't think of anything better.
Yeah.
Get the short rib. Get the short rib. It's really good.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
you.
Thank you, Tracy, for joining
Thank you
me
for
today.
having
I
me.
love it, and I'll see you tonight.
I'll see you tonight.
and hopefully, we'll see all of you tonight.
Yeah, that's
too.
right too. We'll be there. The two of us.
The two of us. Go
You'll-
see this freak show.
I'm gonna guess you're gonna know exactly who we are right when you come pulling the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, thank you
Yep.
so much.
Nope,
I
thanks for
appreciate you
having
joining me. I always have so much fun with you. Tim, thank you
Thank you,
so
Tim.
much.
Welcome.
We appreciate you. And thanks, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day.
WATD FM Marshfield, WPMS
On top of my
Rockdale.
little beanie on top of my hat.
The South Shore's
like
first choice
starting to
for
hurt.
live team coverage of breaking news.